What's up everyone, ODC here, and I'm back with another action figure review. Today's review, we're going to take a look at the Transformers War for Cybertron Siege action figure. This is Hound, and this is actually my first Siege action figure. Pretty excited for this line. I know these some of these, like Hound and a couple others, came out, I want to say end of last year, and maybe I'm a little bit late to the game. And as we can see here with Hound, he kind of looks like an amalgamation of like a Jeep mixed with like maybe like a Hummer of some sort. Almost looks like a vamp from Pursuit of Cobra a little bit. But here he is to no avail. He's got that nice kind of army green to him with a little bit of like a, I want to say like a copper or like a bronze. He's got that bronze star right there. And then we got some bronze trim going across the front of him right there. That looks really good. And then on the side right here, we've got some yellow flash indicators in the front. We got some fog lights down here. We've got some more fogs over here. And then we've got his headlights right there. That looks really good. Very nicely done as far as the overall little details that are there. And where there is paint shading, it's necessary, and where there's not, it's not necessary, I feel like. On the back, we've got his brake lights and some more yellow indicators at the bottom underneath the brake lights there. And then over here on the what looks to be a fuel canister right here. This is actually one of his attachments right here, and then we have his two other gun attachments right there. But this looks really cool, and I really dig this design. But anyway, I'm sorry, you probably don't want to hear about that. But inside, you can kind of see like some seats, a little bit of a cockpit right there. So that's pretty cool. Maybe if you could try and attempt to fit a headmaster in there, you could. But the guns look pretty good. We got some nice silver paint for the upper attachments for his two guns. It's kind of like a cannon right here, and then like a laser gun of some sort right there. But here's his vehicle form. It looks really good. Like I said, this is a nice little cross between the G1 design and a little bit of modern flavor for you. And I really dig that. I really do like the influx of that. But this is vehicle form. Obviously, he is an Autobot, as we can see the insignia right there. And yeah, he does roll. No problems, so you don't have any issues with him not rolling or anything like that. The arms underneath do kind of get in the way a little bit of the back wheel, but as you can see, it's still moving, still rolling right now, so it's not too bad. But let's not waste any more time. Let's take a look at his packaging, and we'll be right back. Okay, as far as his packaging is concerned, it's pretty nice little window box display right here. Obviously, the insert where he was being held is out. It's in the old garbage. But we have Hound on the side right here. Looks really cool. It says deluxe class right here. That's the deluxe classes. They have different terms for the class. They have the deluxe class, and they have the Voyager class, then the leader class, and then I believe, I don't know what's after that. I forgot. Anyway, flipping around to the back, it says Autobot Hound on the top. We got some pictures of Hound right here. Pretty cool, and you can use some of your Battle Masters to use as weapons, which I might actually pick up some of these little Battle Masters, to be honest with you. I think it might be cool because they also actually come with, like, you see this swooshing effect. They also come with like a heat effect too, and then they come with some gunshot effects. So I might actually pick up some of those little Battle Masters. I wasn't initially going to, but now I might actually do that. But it looks pretty cool. It shows you the different attachments that you can use for that. Looks pretty cool. On the side, you've got a nice little poster artwork for the War for Cybertron Siege. Looks really good. And there's front again, and goodbye. Okay, as far as this transformation does go, you can kind of do it any which way you want. That's pretty much like how I like to do it. I like to kind of do it my own way. There's not, I mean, there are specific steps that you can go by, but what I like to do is I like to get these guns out of the way, obviously, and you just depeg them. There's a couple ports right here where you can just plug those right in, and then you can pop that off the back like so. So no issues there. There's also different ports right here and on the sides where you can plug the weapons in. for weapon storage or just a different type of look, you know, you can pretty much plug and play this guy however you want. It's not really one trick pony, so to speak. The way I like to do it is simply, I like to kind of poke these arms out at the bottom first, kind of get the arms moving, and then I like to kind of open this up with the legs, kind of move the canopy up like so. And like I said, I'm a newbie here, so bear with me. But this is how I like to do it. I like to depeg these and then kind of depeg the back. There's a little peg in the back. You want to deport that. And then there's a peg on this side and that side. And you want to take both those off. So you want to pop those off like so. And then these are actually his legs. So what you want to do is kind of want to rotate them like that. I like to keep the legs straight. And rotate that leg like so. And then next what I like to do is I actually like to take his leg, fold it over like so, and peg that in like so. All right, so what you want to do, I kind of screwed up, but just bear with me, just because I haven't really transformed him that much. You kind of want to peg that in, and then you want to keep this foot flat like that, and then just kind of rotate it over, because that's kind of his foot. And then you want to just kind of mirror what you did on the other side. There's a little tab right there. You want to make sure that tab is in. Like I said, make sure this foot is out. And then just fold it over. And then bring the legs in. And those are his feet right there. So that's pretty cool. And then you want to bring these arms out like so. And you want to rotate this front piece downward. And then you want to take the canopy, fold it in, bring it down. And then bring the arms over. You can... bring the arms over any way you want, really. Like so, and there he is in his robot mode. Next up, we're going to take his weaponry, right here, if this will focus on the weaponry. Thank you very much. We're going to take his weaponry, and we're going to take his little fuel canister right here that I showed earlier. And you can plug, there's actually a little spot right here, a little tab, and you can plug it right into the side. It can go on either side. It doesn't really matter which way you go. I tend to like to put it on this side just for my own sake. On the side here, obviously this is like a little like ammo canister right here. It's kind of like the side version of a Tommy gun right here. So looks pretty cool though. I dig it. Oh, and it does pop off quite a bit. That's the one gripe I think I have with it, is that it does kind of pop off. You just kind of have to hold it in there. And it does peg in there, like I said, but, you know, just have to work with it. And then it does fit in his hand, like so. And then you got to kind of twist this and then twist the hand, obviously. There we go. And we're all situated. Okay, and there's Hound with his weapon in his hand. Looks really cool. And then we're going to take his cannon piece right here, which looks very nicely done as far as that's concerned. We've got a little bit of like that bronze trim right there, some silver for the barrel. Looks really good, very nicely done. And like I said, you can set this up any which way you want. You can put this in his hand. It'll fit right in there. So no issues there. Very nicely done. And then you can also, you've got a port right here on the side. So let's just put that in there and see how that looks. You can have it like that if you want. Or there's two ports right here. You can have one on this side, like so. Or you can have it on this side. Pretty much any way you want to do it. It's up to you. Viewer discretion. You can also have it on this arm, on the forearm. Same thing on the other forearm. There's a peg right there as well. You could even put those on his leg if you wanted to, for weapon storage or something like that. And even on the side of his leg. And you could do the same thing with his gun in his hand as well. They also fit in all the other ports as well. I like to keep this on this side. This way he's got, he's going to use his gun on this hand. You can fight them off, fight the Decepticons off with the other hand, and then he's got a cannon right here as a little backup piece. So that's pretty cool as well. Turning around, there is a peg hole in the back as well. So that looks pretty cool. So you can also port the gun in the back. So you can just plug that into the back like so, and it will stay in there for some weapon storage on the back. That's pretty cool. Like I said, I'm probably going to have him displayed in robot mode with his gun in his hand, and he looks pretty official like this. As far as his sculpt and detail go, this is pretty much what he looks like. I did show the majority of the sculpt and detail in the beginning of the video, so we're just kind of going through his sculpt and detail for the face right here. It looks pretty cool. Very nicely done with the sculpt. Very, like I said, G1-esque as far as that's concerned. He's almost got like a little goatee right there, which is pretty cool. And then the obviously the sculpting for the front end, which is his chest piece right here. Very nicely done. You can actually see a toe wench right there in the front. That looks pretty cool. And I just really dig this face sculpt quite a bit. Looks very nicely done. Very pleased with overall how Hound turned out. And he's about 5.5 inches tall, so he's not necessarily the tallest figure, but I think it fits the bill for him. Sometimes Hound has been shown as large and bulky, but I think I kind of prefer this size for him, to be honest with you. Okay, as far as Hound's articulation does go, his head can kind of swivel a little bit. It's not the best range of motion, but it is there. He can pivot up and down a little bit. That's about it. No jive turkeys, no gobbles, unfortunately. His arms can go up about that far. They can go down, a full 360 rotation in the arm. They can kind of pivot outward as well. You get a little bit of range of motion right there in the arm, so that's pretty cool. You get a single bend with the elbow. You also get the bicep swivel. You get a swivel with the wrist as well. And then you get a swivel at the waist. And the legs go forward. They go back. And you can do splits. He does have an upper thigh swivel. Single jointed knee. And he does have kind of like an ankle pivot. Oops. He does kind of have like an ankle pivot right here. So you can kind of move that out. Not so much moving it back and forth. You can't really, you can kind of move this piece just because it's on a hinge joint right there. But that's pretty much it for Hound. Okay, as far as size comparisons go, we've got two other figures here. On the left, we've got the Transformers Titans Return Highbrow on the left. And then on the right, we've got the Transformers Classic Universe Deluxe Class Ironhide. Okay, up next, we've got two of his line mates from the War of Cybertron Siege line. On the right, we've got the Leader Class Ultra Magnus, and then on the left, we've got the Voyager Class Optimus Prime. Okay, and last comparison, this wouldn't be a video without him in it. We've got a size comparison with Sir Gideon Heavensbrand. Okay, and one last thing I wanted to note was actually you have multiple functions here with his gun. You can actually port this into the back of the gun, and then you can take the canister and port that into the back, and it kind of looks like he's got his ammunition in the back, and now he's got like a long-range rifle right here. So that's pretty cool that you have multiple functions, and you can actually pop this or port this right here if you want to. You can kind of get that on. It kind of looks a little frumpy like that, but you can get it on there, or you can have him hold it in his hand. I want to hold your hand. There you go. Or you can also have it in his vehicle mode as well if you wanted to. But that's what he looks like with him holding it. I think it looks pretty good. You know, it just gives you a little bit more of options, variety as far as his weaponry goes. So, okay, so my final thoughts on Hound are definitely a 2 thumbs up. Let me get my other thumb in there. 2 Autobot thumbs way up, and go pick them up. I mean, if you're the least bit intrigued in this line, or if you know you want some G1 inspired action figures, this is the route to go. I think this line is going to be pretty lucrative, and the price point, you can't beat it. I mean, I got Hound on eBay or on Amazon, excuse me, for 18 bucks with free Amazon Prime shipping. So that's not asking the world. And I know there's a lot of higher end figures that you can get, but as far as a regular retail figure from Hasbro with pretty decent detail as far as that's concerned, he's got a lot of decent paint shading going throughout his body. And the paint apps are pretty crisp and clean. I like the articulation. The range of motion's really solid on him. It's very easy to transform him. It's not very hard. I think the first time I transformed him, I didn't even have to use instructions. And maybe that's a normal thing with a lot of Transformer collectors. But for me, you know, first time doing this in the last, I don't want to say 10 years. But that's pretty much it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching as always. And for me, for Hound, and all the other Autobots, you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.